Okay. Hi everybody, thanks for coming to this session. Today we're going to talk about Weld-OSGi and how to use it to build modular and dynamic applications. My name is Mathieu Ancelin.
Hi, I'm Mathieu Clochard. We are both developers at CDI and both members of the Poitou-Charentes Java user group. And Mathieu is also a member of the expert group for JSR 336.
This is the JSR for CDI 1.1.
So CDI is a small IT company from France, near Poitiers, if you know it. We are about 65 people, and we work mostly for Java-based projects. And one specificity of CDI is that we contribute to many open source projects, like Glassfish, CDI, or Weld.
So just before we start, if you want to ask us questions or post comment or whatever, you can do it on Twitter. Don't forget to use the Weld-OSGi hashtag, so we'll be able to track your tweets and answer later. So before talking about Weld-OSGi, we're going to introduce some key concepts for the rest of this presentation. The first one is CDI. So CDI is, in my opinion, the best API introduced in Java EE6. It's the standard API to do dependency injection. It provides a nice programming model based on annotation. So CDI annotation are these ones. And for the rest of the presentation, I just want you to remember these three. First, the @inject is the annotation marker. It tells to the container that you want to inject a bin somewhere. The @qualifier is some kind of a filter to say, I want an instance of that bin, but qualified with this annotation. So @qualifier is a meta annotation. You put it on another annotation, and this annotation become a qualifier. And the last one, @observes, is the way you declare a listener in CDI. You just have to write a method with a parameter and annotate this parameter with @observe. And each time an object of the type of the parameter is broadcasted in the CDI container, then this method will be called and you'll get the event.
So what is OSGi? It's a modular and dynamic platform for Java. And it's old. It's more than 10 years now. But it's very stable and mature. And as a drawback, you may find the APIs a bit dusty. You know, I know many of you might fear to dive into OSGi because you think it's complex or difficult. And that's not entirely false. But, but with Weld-OSGi, you can give a try at OSGi.
Yeah.
So there is two main concepts in OSGi. The first one concerns modules. In OSGi, we call them bundles. A bundle is a plain old Java archive that you start in the OSGi platform, and you construct your application with this bundle. In this example, there is two bundles, a blue bundle that can expose some classes and by exporting a package, and the yellow bundle that can consume these classes by importing the same package. And just like that, you construct your application dynamically. So each bundle has a life cycle, sorry, and it's just like your app in your application server. You can install or uninstall some bundle in the OSGi platform, but you can also start your bundle in order to make them active, and then you can use the second key concept of OSGi, that is services. So in this example, the bundle A wants to publish a service for all of the bundle in the OSGi platform. So it just have to implement an interface and register this implementation in the service registry. Then the bundle B can look up for an implementation of the service in the registry and then use it as bundle A is providing it. But if bundle B was here before bundle A, there is no such service yet. And then when bundle A registers this service, the registry just notify bundle B, and then bundle B can look up for the service and use it.
Okay, so with Weld-OSGi, we try to combine the best of both worlds. We try to combine the type safety, the simplicity, and the nice programming model of CDI with the dynamism and the modularity of OSGi. So Weld-OSGi is just a CDI extension that allows you to use CDI inside an OSGi bundle. But we add some APIs to provide deep integration with OSGi layer. So Weld-OSGi is a JBoss Weld project. The code of Weld-OSGi is hosted in the same GitHub repo as Weld. The project comes from the needs of Weld user to bootstrap a Weld container inside an OSGi environment. Weld-OSGi is developed by some guys of the Surly R&D team, that's us. And the nice thing with Weld-OSGi is that you don't need to know a thing about OSGi APIs. You just need to know the key concept, bundles and services, and after that you just have to use the CDI programming model, and you can build dynamic and modular applications. But we don't ignore other OSGi bundle. That means that you can create an application by mixing Weld-OSGi bundles and legacy OSGi bundles together, and it works perfectly. So how does it work? Let's say you have an OSGi platform with some bundles installed on it, and you install Weld-OSGi. At this moment, each time you will install a new bundle that is CDI enabled, we track that with an empty beans.xml file inside the bundle. So each time a bundle like that is installed in the OSGi platform, we start a new CDI container. And in this container, we can use all the CDI features like dependency injection, event broadcasting, or whatever you want. But we wanted to go further, and we provide API to expose CDI beans as OSGi services and to consume OSGi services inside CDI beans. So here you can see that you can expose beans and consume them in between two CDI bundles, but you can also consume services that come from legacy OSGi bundle like bundle 3. So now we're going to see how to use Weld-OSGi APIs, and to do that we are going to show you a little application. So first we have the idea to write an application that allows you to create a profile, invite friends, share a picture of you, and post a silly status or something like that. But it seems that someone stole us the idea.
Yeah, I think someone did a movie about it.
Yeah, it was very good. Right. So we had another idea, something more original, something that I don't think you've ever seen. I think that nobody did an application like that. It's Nevernote. So Nevernote is a note application. So you can write your note and save them in the cloud. So you can you will never forget anything. Never forget anything. So let's see the application. Oops. The application is here. Here I've got my OSGi console, but it's not important yet. So the UI is pretty common for this kind of application. So I've got my notes here. I can add a new note. I can edit a note like that. So it works. I can mark a note as done, etc., etc. So yes, I'm in invert, and I got my response, so it's done. So that's the application, a very simple one. We use Twitter Bootstrap, we use jQuery, we use JAX-RS to provide the services to feed this application. So it's a very common application, and we thought that as as we are lazy programmers,
of course.
We don't want to, there is missing feature in this application, but we don't want to code them because it's painful. So we introduced a plugin API, so other programmer can write plugins and we can upload it on the application and everyone can use the new feature. So let's say Mathieu is a plugin developer.
Yeah. So I have the Nevernote core application and I want to add some feature for it. And how can I do it? It's pretty much simple with Weld-OSGi. You just have to make a new CDI bin in a new bundle that implements the plugin API from the application core. And I just put the add publish annotation on top of my bins. And just like that, it will be a service in the the OSGi platform. So how does it work? When you start your bundle, Weld-OSGi framework just get this bin and the annotation and register the bin as a service in the OSGi service registry.
Just for the rest of the presentation, all the API that are in bold blue are Weld-OSGi APIs.
Yeah. So if you don't want your service to be registered at startup, I don't know, maybe you want to make some treatment before or whatever, you can use the new service registry API from Weld-OSGi that permit you to register service programmatically after some time or when some conditions are met. You can also use the old API from OSGi, but it's simpler that way.
It's not recommended. So now that Mathieu has published a service, I want to consume it in my application. How can I do that? I just have to write something like @inject @OSGi service plugin my plugin, and it's done. It's very simple. In OSGi, you have to write, I don't know, maybe 10 lines of code or something like that. With CDI, you just have to write this single line and it's done. But it's not the best way to do it because here you don't really know what kind of plugin you will inject. If there is many implementation of plugin, then you just get the first one. It's not it's not the best way to deal with your plugins. And if there is no plugin implementation at runtime, if you call a method on plugin, then there will be an exception because there is no service available, so you can't do something with your plugin. So we introduced another API to inject service more safely. It's the programmatic API, so you just have to write something like @inject service of plugins, and it's like a collection, so you can iterate over it. You can iterate over the first implementation if you want, and if there is no implementation, your code won't be called, and you can iterate over the whole collection to do whatever you have to do. We also provide some nice nice utility method to know how many plugins are available, if you are more than one plugin or just one, etc., etc. We can also be more specific about what we want to inject. So we can use the @filter annotation to do that. You have to know that when you publish an OSGi service, you can publish some metadata for this service and query this metadata with LDAP filter. So it's kind of old, but it works. So here we use the @lang and @country qualifiers to create a map of metadata for the service when we publish it. So it works with the standard injection and with the programmatic injection. But it's not really CDI-ish, I think. So you can also use qualifiers. You just have to add your qualifiers on your injection point, here @lang and @country, and we'll match Weld-OSGi will match the right service and inject it. It also works with the programmatic API. So how can we use that in Nevernote? We use that in Nevernote. So I got my application here. And I've got a view here that is the plugin settings view. And we can see that there is some bundles that are installed in my OSGi platform. I can also list them on my OSGi console. Here I've got bundles 7, 8, 9 that are installed but not started yet, so we can't use them. So I can start a bundle, and now my UI reacts to this new event from OSGi and show me that the bundle is started. I can also do the same from the OSGi console. I can start bundle 8, and my UI will react to this new event and show me that the bundle 8 is started. And I can start bundle 9 here, and I got all my plugins started. That's very nice. So now, when I create or modify a note here, I have a toolbar with my plugins that are available. So I can use my upper plugin, my lower plugins. They are very useful plugins. I can also remove a plugin. So I can remove plugin 9 here in my console, and my UI just react to this new event and just remove the plugin. So we just use here service injection, the service and API, and each time a new bundle goes away or appear, the collection is feed, and we can adapt the UI with this new event.
You don't have to restart
yes,
your app or the OSGi platform. It's all
I'll show you later. I can also just upload a new jar containing the plugin, and the UI will the jar will be started automatically, and the UI will get this new plugin just like that.
So there is some other stuff in OSGi we address with Weld-OSGi, like OSGi event. As OSGi platform is a dynamic platform, it generates a lot of events in order to the developer to know the state of the application and bundle and services. There is two main sets of events, bundles events, first, that are broadcast every time a bundle changes state, like when a new bundle arrives or when a bundle is started or stopped, if you want to know if maybe some new services will come. And there is a OSGi API, obviously, to manage this event, but we had a new way to listen to this event using the @observed annotation from CDI. And for each bundle event, you get an event type that you can listen, or you can filter through by bundle names. Here I want to know when the COM-foobar bundle is installed. I can filter with version, or both, if I want to know only for a specific bundle. The second set of events is for services, when a new service arrives or changes or goes away. It's pretty much the same. You get event type for each event, and you just, like in the ejection point, you can filter with specifications if you want to know only services of a certain type, with OSGi metadata if you want to restrain the service you want to know about. Yeah, and you can obviously use both of this filter.
So this kind of feature is very interesting because as OSGi is dynamic, the best way to deal with dynamism is really event-driven application. So with this kind of stuff, you can really do a lot of things. But we wanted to go a little bit further with events, and we introduced a new API that we call inter-bundle events. So behind this complicated name, it's something very spacious. It's very simple. It's just the ability for a bundle to send an event and broadcast it to other bundles. So you don't really have to use dependency injection. You just send events to other bundle, and they can respond, and you can create a very dynamic application just using this kind of feature. So if you want to use inter-bundle events, you just have to write something like @inject event of interbundle event. And when you broadcast the event, you just have to give a payload to this event. Here it's hello bundles. And in another bundle, you just have to write a listener. And so this listener here listens at all interbundle events. You can also be more specific about what kind of payload you want to listen about. So here I just want to catch events with a string inside. You can also ask only for interbundle the event that come from other bundles. So it can be useful to listen to interbundle event from its own bundle. So we'll let the ability to do that. So the AdSense is very to don't listen for your own interbundle events, and you can obviously use both at the same time.
It's pure CDI. It's a pure CDI way to manage.
It's very CDI-ish. It's not something we created. It's just the way you can listen to events in CDI. So you can use a lot of annotation like that to filter your events. So how can we use that inside? So how can we use that inside Nevernote? So let's say I get a new plugin. So I go on my plugin view. I stop the other plugin because I don't want them anymore. I can see here on my new node view that I don't have any other plugin. So I will upload a new plugin. It's the Tweet plugin.
It's a new bundle.
It's a new bundle, and I will install it just like that without restarting my server or whatever. I just have to click on install it, and it will be installed. It's installed, and it's active. It's started. So I get a new plugin here. But I don't have any new button in my view. So what this plugin is all about, it's a plugin that only uses interbundle event to do some stuff each time I mark a node as done. So if I click on done, I can send a new tweet to say, hey, this task is done, nice work. So it's very simple to add new feature with interbundle events without modifying your application. You just have to make your application to send some interbundle event. And if a bundle is capable of listening to this interbundle event, then you can add new feature to your application, just like that. Sorry. So it's
easy to float Twitter.
It's very easy to add new feature like that, and you just don't have to deal with OSGi API or whatever. So let's go back to slide. We also introduce some utility injection if you have to deal with the old OSGi API. So you can inject the current bundle. If you have, let's say, a library that uses a pure OSGi API, then you can feed it with the bundle or the bundle context. The bundle context is the API to deal with services with pure OSGi. You can also inject the metadata of the bundle, because as Mathieu said, when you create a new OSGi bundle, you have to provide some metadata to say what package are exposed and what package are imported. You can be more specific about the header you want to inject, and you can also inject a file from, I don't know, some kind of store where you can store file for the bundle.
It's all OSGi features that are simpler with Weld-OSGi.
Yeah, you just have to @inject, add bundle data file, and you get the file you can write inside it. It's very easy.
So we hope you like this presentation. If you want to give a try to Weld-OSGi or look how it did things, you can go on GitHub, the Weld core repo, and clone it. Or if you just want to make a new application to try Weld-OSGi, just add the two dependencies here, Weld-OSGi core API and obviously a CDI API in order to get at inject and other cool stuff like that.
Yeah. And if you want to know how to bootstrap an OSGi environment and how to include Weld-OSGi inside it, you can go on my GitHub account and get the code for this demo, because we don't really have the time to show you the code, so you can browse it, it's available. And you can also go on the Weld core project where there is a Weld-OSGi, and there is a lot of examples to show you how to bootstrap an OSGi container and to include
there is also
Weld-OSGi.
there is also a full specification.
And full documentation.
And user documentation. And so
it's pretty up to date.
Almost up to date, yes.
But I think it's understandable.
Yes.
Yeah. About the future of Weld-OSGi, we are working on a new kind of extension to bootstrap Weld-OSGi inside hybrid Java EE app servers. It's servers that are running on top of that or that embed OSGi, like Glassfish, Jonas, or JBoss AS. It's already working on JBoss AS, but it's kind of a hack. We are looking for something more clean to do that. But you can, with this extension, you can really make your Java EE application talk to each other through the OSGi service registry, or talk with OSGi bundle. Yeah. So it's very easy to do, and you can really do some nice application where you deploy part of the application dynamically on the server without restarting anything.
There is some demo, I think.
What?
You have some demo for that on
the GitHub repository of Weld-OSGi. There is an example of that. And there is also some work done at the OSGi Enterprise Expert Group. The guys here are starting to write RFC 146, which is CDI OSGi integration, and it's directly inspired by Weld-OSGi. So maybe in the future you will be able to use CDI OSGi inside maybe Glassfish or whatever.
Natively.
So, natively. So to conclude, Weld-OSGi is very cool. You absolutely have to try it. We hope it can help to change people's mind about OSGi, because every time we talk about OSGi, people say, "Oh, it's difficult, it's old,
yeah.
Whatever." But I think with Weld-OSGi, you can really enjoy programming OSGi application through CDI programming model. So please don't hesitate to give us feedback and fill issues on the project. We are here the whole week, so if you want to chat or whatever, we're open.
No problem.
Okay, thanks.